All right, next week, Paddy The Baddy is back in action at UFC 282, making not his Las Vegas debut because he fought at the Apex in Las Vegas. As we know, the Apex, a very small, limited crowd. But next week, Paddy The Baddy Pimblett, he goes full on Frank Sinatra in Las Vegas because he'll be at the T-Mobile Arena. And with the fallout that what happened last week, you know, with Yuri Prochazka and his opponent falling off that card, Glover Teixeira, Yuri no longer on, everything gets bumped up. As we know, new main event. That means that Paddy The Baddy taking on Jared Gordon is now the co-main event of a pay-per-view. So adds a little bit of extra pressure. A lot of eyeballs. People all over the world are going to be seeing him. And Paddy is coming into this one very, very confident. Of course, he's always confident. Every time, kind of like Conor McGregor back in the day, he has called his shot. Paddy The Baddy has gone out there and said, listen, I'm going to fucking smoke him, lad. I'm going to knock him out. Scousers don't get knocked out. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Full of confidence. And so far, he's done it. I think it's 3 first-round finishes against Luigi Vendramina, Kazula Vargas, and Jordan Levitt. Okay? Got them all done. This is now a step up in competition though, because the guy that is fighting, Jared Gordon, has been around the block many times. Got a record of 19-5, and in his last 5 fights, he's only lost once. So it's a tougher matchup, and I think it might be a tougher matchup than what Paddy thinks. I think Paddy potentially is underestimating him. Now, when I say underestimating him, I don't mean that he's taking it easy and he's kicking back in training and he's not pushing himself to the limit and all the rest of it. Paddy has got eyes on being the champion. Paddy is pushing himself to the absolute goddamn limit because the opponent right now isn't Jared Gordon. The opponent is the mission. The opponent is this journey, this wave that he wants to ride towards being a UFC champion, a legend in the sport, a Hall of Famer, and of course retiring with millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank. As I say, being a legend. Okay, so he's not underestimating or under training, should I say, but he might be mentally underestimating. He says he's going to knock him out in the first round. I don't know about that. I honestly don't think he will knock him out inside the first round. But this is going to be a tough fight. Jared Gordon's no walk in the park. I'm looking at his record right now. Last fight was a win over Leonardo Santos. Granted, Leonardo Santos was a great fighter. Lost his last 3 in a row, though. Before that, he lost to Grant Dawson. I'm going to come back to that one in a minute because that is a key fight. It's a very, very tough fight. Grant Dawson's no walk in the park. And before that, he won 3 in a row. Joe Solecki, Danny Chavez, and Chris Fishgold. Chris Fishgold. That name might sound familiar. He's a very good wrestler, very good fighter out of the Next Generation gym in Liverpool. Yes, he's a teammate of Paddy The Baddy, and Paddy wants to get revenge. Jared Gordon went out there. Chris Fishgold's a good wrestler. If I remember rightly, I commentated the event. It was in Abu Dhabi, and Jared out-wrestled him, took him down, controlled him, and won by a decision. So he can wrestle, trust me. Chris Fishgold can wrestle. Now, we know Paddy's got great jiu-jitsu, okay? And some of his opponents in the past have made mistakes, like Kazula Vargas in London in March 2022. Took Paddy down, which was just stupid. Paddy's got a massive advantage in jiu-jitsu on the ground. But Jared Gordon is a brown belt under John Danaher. If you don't know who John Danaher is, just Google him. He's a bit of a weirdo. He's a bit eccentric, but my God, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he's one hell of a jiu-jitsu coach. And he is responsible. He's always wearing rash guards. Whenever you see him, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast wearing a skin-tight rash guard. That's how much the man loves jiu-jitsu. Don't know why you would wear one in public, but still, he's always ready for a grapple. But John Danaher has created and trained some of the best jiu-jitsu players that we've got on planet Earth, right? And Jared is a brown belt under him. So if Paddy can take him down, which is going to be tough, as I say, Chris Fishgold, proper wrestler, you know, representing his country. So if Chris Fishgold couldn't take Jared down, I think Paddy's going to struggle. Now, of course, best takedown in the game, left hook. You sit that motherfucker down. It doesn't matter how good the wrestling is. But I think Jared can handle himself on the ground. Paddy's very good. He's got a real good flair and he's very creative with his jiu-jitsu. But as I said, I think Jared can handle him down there. Now, obviously, these things are great equalizers. And as the old saying goes, you might start off with being a black belt, but when you get elbowed in the face and punched in the face and ground and pounded within an inch of your life, all of a sudden that black belt ain't worth shit. and you are now a white belt, and you're getting choked out. You know, I've beaten way better grapplers than me in my time because I used to beat the shit out of them. Simple as that. So Paddy might do that. Now on the feet, I think Jared can also cause some problems. I do think Paddy's faster. You know, Jared isn't the fastest, and no disrespect to him. He's kind of slow, but he does have incredible timing. I said before, one of the key fights to look at is the fight with Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson is an incredible fighter. He's huge for the weight class, and he just ragdolls people generally in the clinch, uses his wrestling to great effect. He's got a record of 19-1, okay? 19-1, undefeated in the UFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wins, 1 on the contender, right? And Jared was right there with him. Jared was taking him down. Jared was stopping him. Jared was throwing straight rights to the body, coming up high with a left hook. Not the fastest, but he timed them perfectly. And he did a lot of damage. Actually had Grant rocked on a couple of occasions. But doesn't matter because guess what? In round 3, Grant Dawson got the job done and he choked him out. But still, it was a tough fight for Grant. And it was a great fight for us to watch. The point that I'm making is, if Paddy the Baddy is coming into this one underestimating him, then he might pay the ultimate price and lose on his pay-per-view debut. But Baddy Pimblett is not the type of guy. As I say, he's here for a long time, not a good time. To quote the great Michael Chandler, he is here to become a legend. So he is pushing himself to the goddamn limit every single day. And he's also being a responsible citizen. What do I mean by that? Well, you might have saw this video doing the rounds. He's taking his dog out for a walk. The dog takes a little shit on the ground because that's what the little bastards do. And he had his pooper scooper bag, okay? But guess what? It was a sloppy one. Take a look.
Hello?
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front
Paddy
path.
The Baddy? Ah!
It is.
I'm 5 minutes away from home. Don't worry, I'll clean it.
It's just, like, you sure? I feel terrible, you know what I mean?
No, it's alright.
He's just had a proper sloppy shit and I can't even pick it up with a poo bag, know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'll clean it when I get in.
Thank you very much once again. I'm sorry about that. I hate doing stuff like that. That's why I knocked on.
Go on, I'll see you later. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
So there we go, Paddy the Baddy. What a guy. What a guy. It's clearly a cold night out in Liverpool, but he stopped. He's being responsible. He doesn't want anyone to slip in a slimy dog shit. But that does remind me of an incident that happened to me. So I took my dog out for a walk, and when I was walking along, my dog stopped Sam. He did a shit, and as he was doing the shit, this old lady was walking by and she clocked it. She looked at me, she saw the dog and she saw me not pick it up, but I didn't have a bag on me and I didn't know what else to do. And when I came back, I got back home about half an hour later, and as I'm walking into the house, what happens? The dog falls on the floor, starts having a seizure, foams at the mouth, shit himself all over the place, had diarrhea and died. Dropped dead. So I'm bawling my eyes out. You know, man's best friend, little Sam. Sam's passed away. Got a picture of Alfie behind me. I love my bloody dogs. So I'm being a total baby. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm devastated. I just can't believe it. And lo and behold, there's a knock at the door, and it's the local authorities, the council. They've come round to issue me a fine because the old lady who saw the dog take a shit and saw me not pick it up made a little phone call and reported me. And rightly so, because unlike Paddy the Baddy, I left it there. And they came round to give me the fine, and of course I'm crying my eyes out. Oh, what are you talking about? My dog's dead, my dog's dead. And they thought it was the most elaborate scam to get out of a fine that they had ever seen. Then my wife came to the front door. Rebecca's like, no, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. And in the end, he left. He didn't give us the fine. But still, there it is. Anytime I see that video of Paddy, it just makes me think of that for some reason. I don't know why.
That's fucking weird, huh?
But still, next week, I'm excited for it. UFC 282, Paddy the Baddy, co-main event, taking on Jared Gordon. By far, toughest fight yet. Not a ranked opponent, that would be too much, but a definite step up from Jordan Levitt, from the other guys, Kazula Vargas, and of course, Luigi Vendramini. So, it's a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's not a gimme. Last time I did a video on this fight, a lot of you people were saying, oh, this is another hand-picked opponent. It's not. Jared Gordon, brown belt under John Danaher. A great record of not 19-1, that's bloody Grant Dawson. Hold on, bear with it. 19-5, a lot of fights in the UFC. Trains at Killcliff MMA, formerly Sanford. Some of the greatest fighters, some of the greatest coaches. He's got it all there. He's got the experience, jiu-jitsu, the stand-up, the timing. He's got the wrestling. So it's a tough fight. If you think this is a gimme for Jared or for Paddy, you're out of your goddamn mind. It's a real fight. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff.